Hello everyone, myself Heli Mehta, working as an assistant professor in Computer Engineering Department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is web programming. So today our unit is 2, that is HTML and CSS. So outlines are box models, list, links, CSS positioning, CSS layers, CSS floating properties and introduction to CSS3. So the box model, all HTML elements can be considered as a boxes. Okay, we used tags in the HTML. Okay, that all tags or HTML elements can be considered as a box. In CSS, the term box model is used when talking about design and layout. Okay, so we are generating design. Okay, so in CSS, the box model is used for design and layout. The CSS box model is essentially a box that wraps around HTML elements and it consists of margins, borders, padding and the actual content. Okay, so we have a box model in which we have a margins, borders, padding and actual content. So the box model allows us to place a border around elements and space elements in relation to other elements. So we have a functionality of border, okay, in box model. The image below illustrates the box model. So see here we have a content, okay. Here we have a this is our content. Here we have a padding. Next we have a border, okay, and last we have a margin. Okay, so these all are the functionality of box models. So content, padding top, padding right, padding bottom and padding left. Okay, like this we have a border top, border right, border bottom, border left and we have a margin top, right, bottom and left. So this is the box model. Okay, next is CSS padding. The CSS padding properties define the space between the element border and the element content. Okay, so we have a element content and we have a element border. Okay, so padding will provide the space. So we have to write the padding colon. So padding is our properties and 10 pixel. Okay, so it is our value. So we have a property and value. So padding colon, we have a 10 pixel, it is our value. The top, right, bottom and left padding can be changed independently using separate properties. Okay, so we here we have a padding 10 pixel. We can separate them, top, right, bottom, left, that I have explained in the example. Okay, so we have a top, right, bottom and left options and according to our requirement we have to provide the pixel over here. Okay, so this is the CSS padding. A shorthand padding property can also be used to change all padding at once. Okay, so we can write like this, padding colon 10 pixel, 20, 30 and 40 pixel. We can also write like this. It is a shorthand. Next is CSS border. The CSS border properties allows you to specify the style and color of an element's border. So we can provide the style of border, we can provide the color of the border. Okay, so we have a border colon 1 pixel of solid red color. So we have a border style is 1 pixel and color is red. Okay, border style type, the border style property specified what kind of border to display. Okay, so we can display the different types of border. So we have a style solid, dotted, double. Okay, border width, the border width property is used to set the width of the border. Okay, so we have a border width, how much width we require, according to that we have to provide the pixel over here. So you have to just remember the name of property, colon and value. Okay, border color, the border color property is used to set the color of the border. Border color can be any color defined by RGB, hexadecimal or key terms. Below is an example of each of these type. Okay, so we can write border color red. Okay, the top, right, bottom and left border can be changed independently using separate properties. So we can write left, right, bottom and left and after that we have to provide the color. Okay, so border top colon 1 pixel solid red. So bottom top, border top. So top border will be displaying the red color. Okay, so according to that you can bifurcate. Okay, so this is the CSS border. Next is CSS margin. The CSS margin properties define the space around the element. So we have a margin. So margin colon 10 pixel. The top, right, bottom and left margin can be changed independently using separate properties. So we have a margin top, margin right, margin bottom and margin left. Shorthand margin property can also be used to change all margin at once. So we can write margin colon, and we have to provide the 4 values for top, right, bottom and left. So this is the CSS margin. CSS list. The CSS list property allows you to set different list item markers for order and on order list that I have explained in the HTML, which are following in the order and which are in the on order list. Set an image as the list item marker. Set the position of the marker. So CSS list style type. So we have a UL, okay, on order list. For that we have a circle by default and square. So we have a different options. So you have to just remember, in UL tag you have to write list style type, colon you have to write the circle or square, etc. List with image. If you want to provide the image, then you have to provide the URL for image path. List position, outside, inside, okay. Next is styling link. Link status, we have a 4 link states. A link for a normal or unvisited link. So we have to provide a colon link, okay. Color is here we have a color code, that is red, so it is an unvisited link. Second is a colon visited link, okay, a link the user has visited, okay. A link when a user mouse over it, okay. Active link, the link the moment it is clicked, it is an active link. So we have this type of 4 state of links. CSS positioning. Absolute positioning. With absolute positioning you define the exact pixel value where the specified HTML element will appear. The point of origin is the top left of the browser's viewable area, so be sure you are measuring from the point, okay. So we have to provide the CSS positioning. So in absolute we have a left and top, so we have to provide the pixels. Relative positioning. Relative positioning changes the position of the HTML elements relative to where it is normally appears, okay. So we have to write relative over here in position, and we have to provide left and top pixels. Fixed positioning, the element is positioned relative to the browser window. In fixed position, element will be in the same place even we scroll the screen, okay. So here we have to write the fix, and we have to provide the pixel. So we have a 3 positioning, that is absolute, relative and fixed positioning. CSS layers. CSS allows you to control which item will appear on the top with the use of the layers, okay. So we can divide into different layers, okay. In CSS each element is given a priority. If there are 2 overlapping CSS position elements, the element with the higher priority will appear on the top of the others, okay. So we have to provide the priorities, okay. To manually define a priority, set the Z index value. The larger the value, the higher the priority the element will have, okay. So the which have a higher priority will display first. So here we have a division. We are dividing dividing in the portion. So division ID, division 1. Here we have a division 2, okay. So see here in division 1 we have a position absolute, height, width, left, top, background color is red, and Z pixel is 5, okay. So remember this Z pixel, if the value of Z pixel is higher, then it is the higher priority, and value of Z pixel is lower, then it is the lower priority, okay. So these all you know. We have a 2 division, that is division 1 and division 2. Here we have a HTML, and here we have a CSS. So division 1 position have a absolute, height, width, left, top, background color red, and Z index is 5. Here we have a Z index is 2. So here 5 is the higher priority and this is the lower priority. So it will display like this, okay. So it will display first red and Z index, after that blue color is display, and it has a color and height and width, left, top according to the pixels, okay. So this is the CSS layer. CSS float property. The CSS float property defines that an element should be taken out of the normal flow of the document and placed along the left or right side of its containing block. Text and inline elements will then wrap around these elements, okay. So see here we have a division 1, division 2. We have a background color red, float left and width 40%. We have in division 2 we have a background color blue, float right and width is 40%. So we have a left and right option for float. So division id is equal to division 1. Okay, so in division 1 we have a abc content. Here we have a abc content, and for that we have a division 1. Okay, so it will display in red color, font will be left and width is 40%. And for division 2 we have a xyz content, for that we have a division 2. Okay, and its color is blue, float is right and width is 40%. Okay, so it will display like this. Okay, so this is the CSS float property. According to left, right, color, okay, and width it will display. Introduction to CSS3. CSS3 is the latest standard for CSS. CSS3 is completely backward compatible with earlier version of CSS. CSS3 has been split into modules. It contains the old CSS specification which has been split into smaller pieces. In addition, new modules are added. Okay, so we can add into the modules. Okay, CSS3 are the presential effect which allows property changes in CSS value, such as those that may be defined to occur on focus to occur smoothly over a specific duration rather than happening instantaneously as it is in the normal behavior. Transition effect can be applied to a wide variety of CSS properties including background color, width, height, okay, and many more. Some of the most important CSS3 modules are CSS, animations and transitions. We can provide the animations, calculating value with CLC calculator. We can use calculator, advanced selectors, generated contents and counters, gradients, web fonts, box sizing, border images, media queries, multiple background, and CSS columns. So these all are the important modules of CSS3. Okay, so this is the CSS3 introduction. Thank you.